Rick is supposed to pick me up.
Is she? Well, she will.
Rick, that's her boy.
I just thought it was a girl.
I'm just waiting.
Yeah, well, that, just keep them waiting until they
I'm
come.
afraid to move.
I had to put on mute.
Another incredible person that I am interested in these days is Anais Nin. And I know what a lot of you guys are going to think. Oh my God, didn't she like sleep with Henry and June? Like, didn't she have an affair with the husband and the wife? And yeah, she did. And, you know, just because I like her doesn't mean I do that crap too. It just means that I don't hate people for stupid reasons. And if you're going to hate somebody for that, then I don't really like you very much. As I was reading her diary, I just really love getting in the head of people that like are past and just really cool. But this is what she said that her therapist said, and I don't remember his name. I think they slept together too. I wouldn't recommend sleeping with your therapist. Maybe you can pretend your husband is your therapist if you really have the hots for him, but you know, not a recommending it at all. This is what she has to say. In love too, one must relinquish to really love. You cannot admit rivalry. The more broadly and expansively you love without exclusiveness, the more you reach the mystic whole, the larger sense of love. The less individualistic, the more universal love. So in all of that, when she was talking, I have my own notes on this. I'm not sure if I'm going to read them out loud because sometimes I have thoughts I don't want you to know about. The whole thing that she was talking about here is she was too nice, right? Like, she didn't really tell people what she thought at the time, and because she was trying to save their feelings. And anyway, I don't know. It's like there's people that I know. I'm not going to say if I work with them or if I don't work with them, or if I know them from yoga class or the grocery. I'm not going to say where I know these people, but I know them from somewhere. And they're not really easy for me to like, right? And I almost kind of have to make myself like them. But I think this is what they're talking about there, is just to be more expansive with your love and quit putting so many rules on, well, I really can't like her because she's a bitch. You know, I mean, define bitch, right? Define it. I mean, there are so many definitions for that word. You know, I mean, a bitch, it could be a cool thing. It could be an evil thing. It's somebody that stabs you in your back. Is it somebody that's just mean all the time? Is it somebody that passed you in the hallway and stubbed their nose up at you? I don't know what a bitch is. And I've only been called that maybe once or twice. It was almost a compliment because everybody thinks I'm so nice, and you know, I'm like, oh yay, somebody finally called me a bitch. But anyway, it just really kind of hit me, this one, because I thought, expansive. Like, it's okay to love somebody you disagree with, and I mean, you do anyway. And love is probably a strong word. I think a friend of mine says that it's overused, and I really have to think about that, because I think there's different meanings of love. I mean, I love a lot of people, I think, but it's to different degrees. You know, somebody might define this version of love as like, I love my husband, I love my daughter, I love my friends, but some people I have a more spiritual love for. And you know, it's kind of funny because usually they're atheists or agnostics, but just because I can relate with, they are some of the most intelligent, loving people. And yeah, I really don't think you can not believe in God. And somebody's going to say, yeah, you can. And I'm like, well, you know, and I don't even think you can fully believe in God either. It's like, I know my definition of God has changed a lot. And, you know, from the gray-haired guy in the sky that's going to smite me if I say bitch, or you know, or if I have the wrong thoughts, or if I have the wrong partner, or you know, I've kind of come to view God more as collective good, as something we don't understand. Not necessarily everything we read in the Bible. I think the Bible's great, and I think that some of it is true. Don't smite me over the internet, but I think a lot of these people that take it and use it like and put fear into our hearts. I can remember feeling like I had to be a Christian because if I weren't, you know, have you ever gone to those haunted houses where they have the bloody person that's been in the car wreck, and if they'd only known the Lord, then they wouldn't be a ghost with blood all over their long white gown with their head falling off. And, you know, I was scared. I was like, dang, God, yeah, no, I don't want to go to hell. I'm going to be a Christian. But I think everybody, and I don't want to judge people for believing what they believe, because beliefs are so freaking personal, right? I mean, and I hope you aren't judging me now. I mean, it's okay if you pray for me or something, but you know, I just feel like they confine us, and they give us the set of rules, and the whole, what was that tangent I was on yesterday? Yesterday I was on a tangent because I was watching this really cool guy, and he, I'm going to bring it up for you, and his name is Graham Priest, and he was doing a whole series on YouTube about Buddhism and science, and it was very, very, very interesting. And I kind of got stuck on episode 4, and you'd have to go watch it, but my ideas came to people being fluid. So I'm born 1969. I'm a little bitty baby, you know. 5 years later, I'm about this tall, bright blonde hair. 10 years later, 15 years later, you know, I get married, I get divorced, my thoughts change, my beliefs change. Fluid. I am fluid. I am continuously, throughout all of this changing, I'm still who I am in my mind, right? But I'm different. So I think there's a lot of clinging to ideas. Like, I'm going to cling to the idea that I'm a size 4, which I'm not a size 4. I'm not going to tell you what size I am, but it's not a 4. So people will get this idea in their head that, I don't know, they were brought up with the idea that being gay is wrong, right? Oh, God, no, that's a sin. You know, you shouldn't be gay, or you shouldn't drink alcohol, or you shouldn't call somebody a bitch, right? And so if anybody overhears me calling somebody a bitch and they turn their nose up at me, I'm not going to talk to her anymore. She said a bad word. She's evil. She's going to hell. You know, you are holding on and you're grasping to the idea that I'm a bad person because I said that word. Let me just, you know, here, let me read my thoughts. All right. People are fluid. Therefore, there's no concrete self. Ideas change. Perceptions change. Physical aspects change. Therefore, self is always changing and can't really be defined. So, I'm never the same. And, you know, this applies to my mom, too, and my friend Marv, who was my best friend with dementia for a long time. I would go talk to that man, and we had the best conversations, very deep intellectual conversations with a man with dementia. Anyway, I think, you know, and I kept wanting to tell myself, it's still mom, it's still mom. She hasn't changed. She's changed. I've changed. Zena's changed. My dog over there's changed. We've all changed. We're never, ever, ever the same. So, for example, maybe part of me believes that I'm always me, even if I am changing. I'm an altered me, or am I? I'm not, because I'm not constant. I'm like water. We're all like water. The problem comes when we want to cling to the idea of us that we have programmed into our heads, right? I have this program. I have this idea that you guys, especially my sorority friends and my high school friends, y'all have this program, and you're probably like, yeah, no, Jody, you're the same. No, I'm not the same. So unprogram me from your head, right? Anyway, I just think clinging to whatever it is we think we are is a bad idea. You know, I mean, people are gonna die. My mother's gonna die. I'm probably gonna die. I have two things on my bucket list. One thing that I can tell you about, and one thing that I will forever, ever, ever keep a secret. It may happen. I'm not going to talk about it. It'll get me in trouble. So, my bucket list is to see the Northern Lights. So, it's such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, the pictures are gorgeous. I love to be outside. I wouldn't want to be outside today in this weather, but, you know, it's great. And telling you stuff you know, right? I mean, but so would the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama would be telling you stuff you know. I mean, the man has such beautiful, simple words, but they sound so wise and profound. I love having deep conversation. Anyway, yeah, I do think we're fluid. And, you know, right now, I went to see my mom in the nursing home today. I don't want to call it a nursing home because technically it's an assisted living, but a lot of the people there just really, they have gone, right? Let me just tell you, but you have to, it's like hanging out with little toddlers. What is her name? She has a sweet, innocent little girl face, and she'll just sit next to you and say something, and I was like, hey, and she's like, I'm scared, and I'm like, well, there's no reason to be scared. We're all here. We'll be fine. And, you know, she's like, I'm like, why are you afraid? She goes, I don't want to be alone. And it's sad because I think that's one of our big fears in life is that we don't want to be alone. Except for me, a lot of times I just want to be alone. I don't think I want to die alone though, so I understand that. But you don't really have a choice, right? I mean, it's just, it's beautiful. And anyway, back to mom. So I go up and she's like, she calls me Sissy. She's like, you're my Sissy. And I'm like, yes, it's Sissy. And she's all excited to see me. And I'm like, she's like, you're just so beautiful. And I'm like, I know. Of course, I say that now. I know I'm not as vain as I seem. I know I'm just kind of cute. But I say that to mom because it makes her feel good. I was like, I know, mom. I look just like you. And she's like, I said something, I was like, but I look a little bit like Dad too. And she's like, oh, are your mom and Dad here? I was like, well, my mom is here. Anyway, it's kind of, it's hard to see, but like I said, with all this other stuff, life is fluid and we're always changing, and you know, we're not always going to be a size 2 or a size 10. We're going to get bigger and littler, and you know, we're going to get old, and we're going to lose our minds, some of us are going to lose other things. And you know, I mean, all relationships are not permanent. Your relationship with your spouse is not permanent. You're either going to get divorced, or one or both of you you're going to die, right? And so just enjoy it because it's going to end. I love you guys. I wish you peace and love and fluidity. Have a good day.
Beloved child.